for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be.
Welcome to the One Pride Podcast. We actually got news we got to talk about. I tried making a video last night around midnight. Epic fail because the Lions made a trade for wide receiver Denzel Mims from the New York Jets. And we're definitely going to get into that because that's what today's story is all about. Before we get into training camp, we got another body whom the Detroit Lions can look at and add to the depth at the wide receiver position. But before we do all that, let's do shout-outs to everybody in the building. We got Mofo, we got D-Money, we have King, Mega, Mark, love the name, Lisa, Dustin, Big D, 73, Bruce Butterly, King Leo, Antonio Jenkins. I'm sure other people coming in here like Rando Lee in the building to talk Lions. So, if you didn't know, we got a 6'3" wide receiver that run a 4.39 or 4.38 in the 40. He was drafted in 2002 by the New York Jets to be their speedster wide receiver, and since he's been there, it just hasn't worked out. Yes, they've had some butt cheeks quarterbacks over there, and that definitely hurt his production. But if you listen to Jets fans, the progression of him was not what they would like out of a second-round pick. So, traded to the Detroit Lions last night, this morning, whatever you want to say. And the Lions gave up a conditional 6th-round pick for 2025. We, in return, get a conditional 2025 7th-round pick from the Jets and Denzel Mims. What does this mean? Is this to replace Quintez Cephas? I don't think so. I think this is a player. This is a back-end player whom they'll make little moves to, do more competition. I think in the wide receiver room there, that's what they wanted to do. A conditional 6th-round pick and in return a conditional 7th means, to me, it doesn't even make the roster. My betting odds is right now he would make the roster. He's a player whom they could use. You could probably use in the kick and punt return as well with Khalif Raymond over there. And obviously he's an ex-receiver whom it'd be a Josh Reynolds or a Marvin Jones Jr. type of spot for him. And clearly not having J-Mo for the first 6 weeks of the NFL season due to his gambling suspension, that's why we got a move like that. So he'll come in and compete. Jared's passing depth with this guy. I like it, the solid 3 and 4. Yeah, I think that's kind of what he's going to be right now. But see, we got to go to training camp. And now, does Antoine Green make the roster? I think it pushes him down a little bit. I think it does. But he is the guy who's going to do the Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones Jr. role. So that's the thing there. Maybe a little bit of a Khalif Raymond because of his speed. But we got a lot of speed on this offense, and Ben Johnson has made it clear that we love speed, and we want to do game-breaking plays when you have a Jahmyr Gibbs, you have Jameson Williams, and now Denzel Mims, Khalif Raymond, who's fast as well. So we got a lot of speed on this offense. How old is Mims? He was drafted in 2020, so I'm going to assume around 24, 25-ish. That's where his age range is going to be right there. So he's not like he's long in the tooth. And obviously it's going to cost nothing, basically, for a financial standpoint, because we're talking about a player still on his rookie deal from 2020. So, for sure. Can he block, though? That's one thing I didn't get to see in his game, folks. I had to leave my girlfriend's house extremely early, way earlier than I would like to because of this trade, and so I can look at some of the film. And I am rocking in about 2 hours or 1 hour of sleep, so I did not see the blocking, but I did see that he's got some mechanical issues, and maybe that the Lions can work it out. Look, if they work out some of these mechanical issues that he hasn't even had a touchdown yet in the NFL. I think that would be, girlfriend, no, I'm divorced. Got divorced a while ago. I'm going to assume that, he'll have an opportunity to work with our wide receivers and maybe, give him next to Amon-Ra St. Brown and his mechanics, the little things, keeping your eye on the football and catching a football, will get better. That's for sure. So hopefully it does. But to me, it's a win-win trade. The Jets weren't going to keep him. We're talking about a conditional pick from 2025. So if it pans out, great. If it doesn't, great. Like, it doesn't really matter. It reminds me of the Trinity Benson trade, except for this actually is a name instead of somebody that's kind of like unknown. We didn't know who a Trinity Benson was, but we sure did know who a Denzel Mims is because of his status. We seen earlier he was surpassed. You're surprised he was 6'3", 207. Yeah, I understand. That's the perfect height I think they would be going for. Like, when you think of what they're trying to do from the outside perspective, it makes sense. So I'm fine with it. And obviously, when it comes to getting talent or trades, teams got to be able to trade it, and he was a player that they're willing to get rid of. I knew they weren't going to go for no Cooper Kupp. I know a lot of people wanted Hunter Renfrow, Cooper Kupp. That just wasn't what Ben Johnson and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell were all going to do. They're not going to give up high draft capital for a wide receiver. This is a depth move and trying to get the room better for the 53. In my opinion. Michael Pittman Jr., yeah, we're not going to go those routes. It just wasn't going to happen because that's not Brad Holmes. That's not what he does. He is a guy that likes to get his players in the draft or make a small move like this, and which is a nothing move. It's a move that teams make before, you cut down the 53-man roster sometimes, or a small move like that. So there's upside for sure. Yep. 4.3840. Yep. I thought it was a 4.38 or 4.39. Super fast. And we can give him the football in some ways. I mean, if you look at Ben Johnson, if he makes the team, then you have another guy you can do jet sweeps with, instantly give him the football. You can have Jared Goff check it down for him, maybe with a wide receiver screen. Instantly, that's the type of stuff you can do that he right now is capable of doing. Risdon tears him up. I'm not going to tear up a player who is a conditional 6th round draft pick and you get a conditional 7th. We're talking about a back-end player on a team. It's not like it's going to be someone that's Calvin Johnson or you're giving up a 1st round pick for a guy. This is a player whom we're going to see if you take a flyer on. We took a couple flyers on players throughout their tenure as Detroit Lions that with Brad Holmes that other teams gave up. John Kaminsky, it wasn't a trade. Other team gave it up, right? Khalif Raymond, the teams didn't value Khalif Raymond. He worked out really well here. So just because a team gave him up, just because he's had some bad mechanics, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be butt cheeks. I don't know what it means. I think you got to watch him play and watch him train, and that's how we're going to get this thing going. So I'm not going to get upset over a conditional 6th or a 7th round draft pick. That's the same thing when we got Riley Patterson. When we trade for him, it's a conditional pick probably based on if he makes the roster. So if he doesn't make the roster, there's a good chance you're probably not going to lose a draft pick. If he does, that means he did something good for the Lions, and it's good. I heard Dallas wanted Mims as well. Let me get my QA stuff up here for you guys so we can see it. realizing him, he didn't look like a 4.38 guy to me. Yeah, but that's what he ran in his 40. So, I mean, it can be all different when you run your 40 in your game time as well. Heard Dallas wanted Mims too, but we came in and swiped him up. Yeah, well, Dallas has been looking for one of those receivers for a while as well. So I can see maybe there's other teams that was looking in. Again, this is a conditional guy. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys would be willing to give up a 7th-round pick. But it just goes to show you, Amon-Ra St. Brown, what a good pick in the draft, right? We get him a year later in the 4th round, and he's really good, and we didn't have to do a 2nd-round pick, a high pick on that. Does Robbie Gould come to Detroit? No, I don't think so. I think we got 3 kickers right now, Michael Badgley, Riley Patterson, and Romo, that can... Oh, Badgley getting cut? So he's the one that got cut? Well, there you go. So Badgley got cut. So right now they release Badgley, Mims comes in. That's the corresponding move. So it's happening while I'm live. We got a Jets fan here, which is great to hear. Jets talk 24/7. Really love Mims' pick when we made it. Very disappointing time at New York in a variety of reasons. Don't expect much, but he does have huge upside. That's kind of what I got going on there. Jets talk 24/7 is I'm not expecting much of really anything. And so if he does produce, that's fantastic. You know, it's good. If he doesn't, oh, well, it's a conditional pick. It's not like it's a big risk. I bet it can be a better team. I bet we can be a better team than this year. I think are you talking about the Jets? Not sure. Yeah, I didn't know Badgley got cut. It must have happened while I went live. Let me see just to confirm here. Yep, Michael Badgley did get cut, just dropped on there, so... Corresponding move there, you're not going to have 3 kickers. So they probably like Patterson is the kicker now. What that means is Patterson's probably your guy for sure. Yeah, he kicked all right for us last year. He wasn't a bad kicker. He wasn't a great kicker. He was a mid kicker. So the reason that they would release Badgley is because they brought in Mims. So you got to have your same roster spot. So I don't see them bringing in Robbie Gould right now. Maybe they do, you know, in training camp if things don't work out. I don't know, but I don't see it happening right now. Let's see. If you got any questions, put it in the comment section. I'm sure a lot of Denzel Mims questions, as he is the newest Detroit Lion here. Again, I equate this to the Trinity Benson trade, except for he has a bigger name than Trinity Benson because we didn't know who he was. We'll see if it works out. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. He didn't give a what about Dallas. That's for sure. Phone just went off. And, okay. Right there. Made 20 out of 24 kicks. Yep, that's what he did for us last year. Michael Badgley there. We got 99 in the building. Let's get more than 25 likes. Go ahead and smash that like button really quick. That will definitely help out the cause for the channel. It will definitely do that for sure. And, woof. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Is my not many getting... They're building the big surprise this season. Let me get that up here. Building for the big surprise this season. I don't know if it's going to be a big surprise. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be a good football team, and they should be that way. Maybe to some fans it'll be a surprise that don't pay attention probably as much as we do, Danny, or other sports fan. Man, I worry about Frank Ragnow, but he's tough. Who'd fill in? Well, you got Graham Glasgow that could go there for sure. If there was an injury, it is important to have a player that can come in for Frank Ragnow. If he's unable to play due to his toe injury, I think Graham Glasgow can do a good job this year. I mean, we had that Evan Brown last year, so I think that's something that we are good to go for this year. But, hey, we'll see. Sorsdale probably could do it in an absolute pinch, but it'd be Graham Glasgow. See, possibly 11 to 12 wins. I could see that's what I got. I got 11 wins. I think the Detroit Lions can get to the 11th spot right there and be good to go for sure. Mike, my wife is Zealand. Hopefully she's not your newest girlfriend. That is hilarious. No, she is not. 9 drinks. And I'm in Holland right now. I haven't moved to Zealand yet. So, hey, whatever. She's got to do what you guys do, but that ain't with me. That is not with me. 12 wins in the floor. I'm telling you, Mike, we got this. Your thoughts. 12 wins, like I said, if that's your floor, I'm not upset. I got 11 wins. It's right next to it. I think the Lions are a double-digit team that can win this year, and I think they're going to get it done and do it. Headed to Holland this weekend, Mike. Hey, man, that's awesome, bro. Hit me up if you're heading towards my home. Maybe get something to eat or something for sure. Frank isn't going out. He played through pain. He does, but he has been out sometimes due to that toe. Not last year, but year before. And it's not going to get fixed, but he is a tough SOB for sure. He's a tough son of a bitch. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing as well as I can be right now. That's for sure. That is for sure. I'm doing all right here. Evan Brown was underrated. He absolutely was. He's going to be good for the Seattle Seahawks for sure. You're going to 12 to 13 wins, so high expectations right there. Can they do it? They can. They got the talent to do it, and that's what's good to see for sure is watch this team get better. I think 13 wins is our ceiling. I think that, I can see a ceiling. So, like I said, I got 11 wins. 5-0 to start. That is really difficult. Really, really difficult to start 5-0. I don't have them going 5 straight wins. Kansas City Chiefs, the Seattle Seahawks to start, that's going to be tough, man. That's going to be tough. I am a tough SOB. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it. Look, you got to be awake when you got to be awake, and you got to have thick skin when people put you down 24/7. So that's what I'm doing here. Just got that thick skin. Just got to take it. I was near you on Tuesday hanging out at the Gun Lake Casino. Okay, yeah, it's about an hour from me, I think. About an hour. You sounds crazy. Only 9? You sound crazy. Well, hey, if he goes 9 and then it gets above that, he's happy for sure. We'll play some real good teams this season. Yeah, we are playing some really good seasons. Let's see. Winning 11 straight as long as we don't start 1-6. Yeah, I don't think they were doing no 1-6 like last year. That is something I don't see happening. 3-2, 4-1. I see that in the comment section by Andrew. I kind of agree there. I think that's very possible. 3-2 is probably what I would go at. But, yeah, I'm not seeing no 1-6 start. Completely different. He's going in 6-0 in the division. I'll go 5-1. I think 5-1 reasonable. The Lions can do again. We did that last year. Difficult to go 6-0 in a division. Even bad teams will play good against your division rivals. That's just how it works. So it'd be quite difficult for the Lions to do so. I say we beat Kansas City in a last-minute victory, lose Game 4 of the season. The ceiling could be 15, but then again, I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. You're drinking some Kool-Aid that I need to drink right there. You got the Honolulu Blue and Kool-Aid. Holy smokes, I need some of that. Be safe with all these bad storms we're getting. My question is how Mims fit in our system. I think he would be a player you would use on a couple jet sweeps, stuff like that, potentially for kick return, punt return, as well as is a Marvin Jones Jr. or Josh Reynolds. That's the kind of role he fits, 6'3", fast receiver. Maybe they'll be using him in the whatever role they're going to use Jameson Williams for the first 6 games. That's what they're probably going to attempt to do him there, considering his size and speed. But that's kind of what I see Mims doing here for the Detroit Lions. That's what I have him. Again, I don't even know if he makes the 53-man roster, guys. I don't know if that's the case because we got Antoine Green, and I think that is a player who could, they're fighting for that final roster spot, so we'll see. I really hope we'd add another defensive tackle veteran rotation competition, thinnest spot. They could do that for sure. They definitely could do that. Again, it would be a back-end player. something that would be competing for the 53. Maybe they just want to see Levi a little bit on Wuzurike. Can you give us fantasy draft order for the Lions players? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, you want to go running backs early, right? But I got to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's the one that actually can get over 1,000 yards. We know it. But obviously, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs should be high up there. I'm not saying go and getting these guys in round 1 or anything like that, but they can give you some fantasy potential maybe in 4. Go in round 4 with something like that. But yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown would probably be your first Lion to get for sure. What do you think his stats could be? Mims stats here? Oh, man. I don't know. Probably not that much because he's not a guy that's going to be – he wouldn't be a number 1 or anything. We're talking about a depth player competing for 6th spot. Not a lot. Not a lot there. Lions will surprise the NFL nation. This is the Lions. I hope they do. Man, I definitely want that. We lost a lot of close games last year that we could easily have won. That is true. Last thing we'll get is a first-round playoff bye. Oh, my God. They do that, and I would be absolutely happy. Lions get a playoff bye. Oh, my God, you're making me go jittery in my pants. Let's see, what round would you get Amon-Ra St. Brown? Round 2. I'm going for running backs, how I go. Running backs or a dual mobile quarterback early. Then when I get the running backs done, then maybe round 2 or 3, I'm looking at the receivers. Just depending who else is gone. It just depends. Because he's going to give you 1,000 yards. When is the fantasy draft? We'll do it probably week 2 of the preseason, right after week 2. So if there's players injured, then we know before the season hits. I don't want you guys drafting somebody and a guy gets injured in preseason, then we're upset about that. Let's see. Last thing we get is the first round. Neither Mims, Green, nor Tom Kennedy make the final roster. It's possible, Casey, that's the case. It is absolutely possible that they don't make the roster. I got Green potentially there, but now Mims is in the mix. I don't see Tom Kennedy making the 53 now. That's for sure. How many picks do you think our secondary will get to this season? Oh, man. I'll double what we did last year. Going double. Going the 20s. Let's see. We get more receiving yards. Laporta, Williams only in 11 games. Oh, man. I'm going to go Laporta here because Williams is suspended the first 6 games. So you're talking about 5 games with Laporta's got a full 11. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Laporta right there. Can we draft anyone? Yes, we can. You can draft. I don't think Titus Young's in there, but you can't draft him. But you can draft whoever you want. How many picks do you think our secondary will get this season? I said that around 49 days till Kansas City game. I don't know the days I'm going to training camp yet. They've not sent it to me yet. So as soon as I get it, I'll be the first one to tell you, what days I will be available for you. Beat the Chiefs, we'll put the icing on the cake. Oh, man, if we beat the Chiefs, that is an amazing way to start. Okay, these guys are just kind of going at it. If you got questions, do hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag Mike, hashtag bad day. Whatever you want to do. Hashtag thick skin. Put it in the comment section. Hashtag frog. I don't even know. Hashtag dog. I'd throw it in the comment section. Looking at Mims versus Chark, what do you find? Almost every aspect they're similar. Major difference in Chark, one good. Yes, pans out. That's what I agree with you. That's why I would put like the Chark. You put him with the Marvin Jones there, kind of that role that Chark was leaving. But I think Marvin Jones and Jared Goff's done fine together, OTAs and minicamp. So it's not taking his role, huh? But I'm with you. It does do that. How real we are. The entire point of Send the offseason moves to improve the roster. Yep, Kennedy was a couple backups, 100%, Lisa, and I have no problem with that. Constantly upgrading the roster, even if it's the back end 53, is what a general manager should do, and we should talk about it and get into it. Hashtag smell my finger. It's absolutely funny. That will get it every single time. Man, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in a minute. Let's see here. Lions, what round in fantasy football would you pick up Amon-Ra? I'd probably do round 2, 3, just depending where the picks are at. That's where I'm looking. Opening up all types of doors for us. Yes. Yes, it is. And it's giving Ben Johnson more tools to do his thing. How many top 100 players are in the Lions roster? Let's go through it. Penei Sewell, I definitely think is a top 100. Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 100. I'll give Jared Goff a top 100 provable. Frank Ragnow is in that mix, but since there's an injury, we don't really know how he's going to be this year. Aiden Hutchinson, top 100. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I think that's what I'll go with right now. 6, that may be a little bit homerish, but I think they're pretty damn good players, and I think they're dogs, and I think they should get recognized for that. Are you happy with the new wide receiver? Hashtag FGB. Look, I'm perfectly fine with this move. It's a low-key move. It's not a high-risk move, and this is the type of stuff we see Brad Holmes do. He does low-key moves to see if it works. Take flyers on players. It's worked with Khalif Raymond, John Kaminsky. It didn't work with Trinity Benson and some other players that we have gotten throughout the rest. So it just is a flyer. Challenge, take a shot of Kool-Aid for every sack. I'll be lit. We do that. I will definitely be lit. So is Taylor Decker. Yeah, he's in there. Taylor Decker's in there. You know I love Kirby Joseph, but I can't put like 8 Detroit Lions in the top 100. That's difficult for me to do that. Difficult. Let's see. What do you consider him a top safety right now? Would you consider, are you talking about Kirby Joseph? Or are you talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson? C.J. Gardner-Johnson's proved he's one of the top safeties in the NFL. I love Kirby Joseph, and I think he's proven his way to be one for sure. That's how I'll put it. But this is his year too. But you know, I love Kirby Joseph. I've loved him since looking him up in the draft years ago. So for sure. I love Campbell, but do you think there's a serious chance he starts over Alex Anzalone this year? No, I don't see. Alex Anzalone will be starting this year all the time. All the time. Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra, that's only what they got. Yeah, I think that's a little bit off. You know how those ratings go in the NFL and how they do it. I think it's a little bit off. Hashtag FGB, who is getting the first sack on Holmes, Hutchinson, or Houston? I'll go Aiden Hutchinson here. I'll take him, and that's who I have for getting the first sack. Any update on Jameson Williams? No, he's perfectly fine. J-Mo he'll be at training camp. There's nothing wrong there. He's still suspended the first 6 games, but he can do training camp and preseason. Lions, is your opinion, is Amon-Ra a top 10 wide receiver? If not, what kind of stats does he have to put up? I have him as a top 10, Paul, or like right there. I think he's proved it. Stats are not everything. He catches all the balls. He's a player that gets it done on big-time downs, and he gets touchdowns. He's always open, so I think he is, for sure. And when I seen the ESPN rating, they didn't even have his mentions. I thought that was not good, for sure. Let's see. How many sacks between Hutch and Houston? I'll go... Man. I think it could be like 27, 26. I think they can get there. 27, 26. I think that's possible. Between those two, Houston and Hutchinson. I think Hutch gets 15 this year. That's what I got. See, you say every year, me being correct week 1. Let's see, I'm just going to give 80 reasons why the glass is half empty. Not a rabbit hole you want to go down. Josh Jackson, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do the half-empty thing. See, ESPN doing us a favor with Amon-Ra Firestoked. He's easy to get motivated. You'll see I call it pretty close and accurate. See, I like the new pickup. Yeah, for sure. St. Brown definitely a top 10 if he wasn't Lions and the Chiefs. Oh, yeah, for sure. If he was on a team that's more, or that won last year, I think you would definitely see that. Let's not sleep on Joshua Pascal. I think he'll be a stud. Yes, really excited for him to play and take a step forward after last year. He was injured to start the season, and now I think he does take a step forward, and that's good because we need him upon that defensive line, and that's good to go for sure right there. Have a Dosh point. Thank Mike for updating everything you do. See you soon. Enjoy your doctor's appointment. Hopefully it goes well for you. Hopefully it goes well for you. Let's see. We got Speak Jeezy, baby. He says, Mike, I'm trying everything in my power not to held over to go live today. You don't want to gonna miss this. Okay, so he's gonna go live. It's gonna be funny. I'm sure he's gonna go off on this one. Me, I think Mims is a guy that is competing for the 53-man roster. I think that we'll see if he makes it, but I don't think it's necessarily a give me. A conditional pick, but I can't wait to see this. Will CJ Gardner-Johnson be absolutely tuned in when he hang out the rings, feeling that he should get one of the Kansas City game? And we'll have a defense tuned in as well. I can't wait for this defense tune in schedule. Let's see. Do we have an easier schedule this year? On paper, it's easier, but does it really mean anything? Because let's be honest here, folks. Good teams can be bad the next year. Bad teams can be good. We don't really know. So, like, on paper, per record from last year of win-loss it is, but it doesn't really necessarily mean it is. We got a $5 super chat here from my guy Travis the Goat Doyley. What do you think about the acquiring of Denzel Mims? I think Denzel Mims is a player that they take a flyer on to see if he can do anything. It reminds me of the Trinity Benson trade. Very similar here. He's just got a bigger name. He's fast. He ran a 4.38 40. He's tall at 6'3", so they're banking on his abilities instead of more fundamentally like wide receiver work with hands, because I think he's got some issues catching the football. I think he's got some issues to his game, so I think they're kind of banking on more of his stature and his speed to see if they can make something out of nothing. We've made these trades before, and that's what I got going on for it. But look, never know, right? Never know. He can come out and be really good for the Detroit Lions and be a John Kaminsky or a Khalif Raymond. But right now, it's yet to be seen. I'm not doing backflips or anything for it. I'm not saying this is a Cooper Kupp or any of that nature. I'm just saying he is a player that will compete for the 53. That's what I have for him, really, for the Detroit Lions. And we don't know the conditions of the trade yet, but if it's a conditional 6th and you get in return a 7th, I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, we'll find out in a little bit, that if he doesn't make the 53-man roster, we're not even giving up draft picks. So it could be conditions on if he makes the team. If Mims can get it together, Williams and Mims outside, that's a lot of speed. It is. Kind of like it's like a weaker Miami Dolphins Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle over there. The garbage man is worth the cost. What's up, Mike? What's going on, Fatal War Ghost? Appreciate you coming in here and enjoying the stream. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go past on this is a giant move or anything like that, because I don't think it really is. I think, it's a trade, and you trade for a wide receiver, trade for any player. Everyone wants to talk about it. It's a trade. Same with Riley Patterson we did a couple weeks ago. Luke G says, word is he has to make the 53-man roster, get the 7th-round pick for the 2.5. If we don't, we just made a 6th-round pick trade for a practice squad guy. Oh, so if he makes the team, I thought we were getting something in return. It's a Benson-proof deal. Yeah. The Trinity Benson one, we lost all the draft capital for that. And he was on the practice squad. This, I think you get, it's in conditions. So conditions, at least there's that. We'll see if he makes the roster. They had rumors in here just a little bit ago, someone saying that the Dallas Cowboys were trying to get him. And the Lions got him instead. Low risk, high ceiling. It's a low risk trade. You can, I mean, it's not, makes the roster. We got him and a 7th round pick if he makes the roster. Okay. So there it is. So if he makes the roster, we get a 7th round pick and him. There you go. We need a defensive tackle need. I think they could do another rotational player because of Levi Onwuzurike. We just don't know what he's capable of right now. But yeah, for sure. For sure. I may have to cut this stream a little bit short, folks, because I'm having an interesting day, and it's hard really to focus. So just bear with me here. I may have to cut it short. I'm going to probably just cut it short right now. I appreciate everybody hanging out, talk about Denzel Mims, and that's generally what we're into today. So with that said, folks, adios.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make